mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome, my friends. It is already the second day of April 2008, and we're coming in hot. We have Jesse the Mind Ventura, of course, naval veteran, professional wrestling champion, Hollywood movie star, governor of Minnesota, television host, best-selling author, and he's with us for the full hour today. Jesse Ventura, new book, Don't Start the Revolution Without Me, and we're going to get into the CIA visiting his office the first day he showed up at the Capitol. We're going to get into his wife finding a bug at their home. We're going to talk about his views on the JFK assassination. We're going to talk about will he ever run for president. We'll talk about the Patriot Act, the war, and a lot more in the next 60 minutes. Jesse Ventura, it's an honor to have you on, Governor.
Hi, Alex. Great to be here, and hi to everybody in Austin, Texas. You know, I got down there when Kinky was running for governor, and it's a beautiful part of Texas where you're at.
Yes, sir. Well, we're on in Austin, Texas, and San Diego, and Kansas City, a lot of other places, and it's great to have you on with us. We hope you'll come back and visit Kinky and Willie and a lot of others in the near future, sir. There's a lot to talk about in this short segment we've got. What do you think is most important about this book? I don't just say this when I have guests on. I couldn't put this book down. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. You know, I wrote the book. I now live in Mexico for half the year, and I got together with Dick Russell, a friend of mine down there who's a writer, and we put this book together. But I think the main thing that I want to stress and get across to people is that we do need a revolution in this country. And when I say revolution, that doesn't mean it has to be violent. You know, typically people think that, you know, like overthrowing the government of Cuba when Castro and Che Guevara did that with violence. But we can have a revolution without violence, and it's high time for it, Alex, because, I mean, my God, the Democrats and Republicans, we are now $9 trillion in debt. That is the national debt. And if they behave that way in the private sector, they'd be jailed and put in prison, you know, like Enron and WorldCom. And yet our media and all our pundits put them up on pedestals. They call them honorable, and the whole thing in our history books will say how great they are, and they're selling our country out from right under our feet.
And that's why you say, don't start the revolution without me. And I agree. The most successful revolutions really aren't violent. Look at the Renaissance itself was a revolution of ideas and the printing press and free market. I see what we need to develop is something similar to the Renaissance, a rediscovery of liberty and freedom, and what Ron Paul has said, legalizing freedom.
Exactly. You know, Ron Paul was a very interesting candidate in the presidential race that the media really kind of pushed him off and didn't listen to what he had to say, and that's the sad part about it, because I found it very interesting when Bhutto was killed over in Pakistan, and all of the candidates went on with this big litany of what the United States should be doing and this and that and whatever, and it got to Ron Paul, and he said something to me that was the best answer. He simply said, "Isn't that Pakistan's business?"
Absolutely. Well, you know, Ron Paul is still out there on the campaign trail. I mean, he's admitting he's not going to win, but he's there to inject real issues into the debate. That's why I wish you'd run, Jesse Ventura. In fact, I wish you'd run right now so we could at least inject real issues.
Well, you know, it was interesting. I did Larry King last night, and Larry started at the start of the show and asked a question. He said, how many people think Jesse Ventura should run for president? And I was astounded by the end of the show. It just floored me. I thought maybe if I got 50 or 60%, I'd be doing good. It was 85%, Alex. It was just mind-boggling.
Oh, there's incredible disenfranchisement with the major two parties, as you know. I mean, look at Congress with, depending on the poll, an 11 to 20% approval rating. Both parties are hated now.
Well, and they should be. As I said, they've put us so far in debt, I can't even fathom what $9 trillion is. Can you?
No, I can't. Jesse the Mind Ventura will be back in about 2 minutes on the other side of this quick break right here on the one, the only GCN Radio Network.